Hey, good evening. Tonight I'm in my house in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I'm being governed by Spirit to talk to you about when we have difficult times making choices, making decisions in our lives. All right. This channel is Practical Spirituality Live, right? With me, right? All right. And when we have difficulties in making decisions and choices in our lives, it is designed by our soul to take a look at what's going on with us. Okay, we all have done this. Like, to give you some ideas, all right? You don't know if you should marry somebody or not. You don't feel good about something. You think you want to move, but you don't know where to move to, or you don't know what to move to, or somebody does something and you have to figure out a way to talk to them about it, and it's not a comfortable subject, okay? So, this is the kind of stuff that we're talking about now, where something comes up and you're like, oh, fuck, I really have to deal with this. I don't really want to deal with this, and it doesn't feel good. All right, when that happens, it is your soul, all right? And it is your soul saying to you, hey, you have some work to do on this area in you. You have some learning, growth, spiritual guidance, things that are going on inside of you that need to be changed, addressed, cleared, healed, created, based in alignment with your mission here and what you came in here to do. All right. Whether it's, whatever your dreams are and your passion. Okay. So when this happens, all right, when you're doing something, you're trucking along and you're trying to decide if you should buy a new car or not, or you're worried about the expense of something, or if you should move somewhere, or how you should talk to somebody about something, or if you should talk to somebody about something, and or boundary issues, what should I do about this? Or when I say boundary issues, what I'm talking about is knowing what to say, how to say, when to say, where to say, and what not to say sometimes, right? Okay, so that's about boundaries, all right? So a big chunk of that is about boundaries. Okay, so in this space where we're talking about decision making, all right, I run into people all the time and they're like, oh yeah, they're like, I need some help. I'm stuck in my life. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go, right? And the very first thing that I always tell people is, go talk to Source, ask God, ask love energy for the solution, the answers, all of the time, okay? But there's some big important things that you guys need to know that are really, really important, okay? Okay, and those things are huge, all right? Because that your soul governs everything, and your emotions is a huge factor in every decision that you make, and it should be, because when I grew up, it was a time where they were trying to teach you to not feel your emotions, to bury your emotions, and it was bad to be emotional, right? There's a positive and healthy space of everything, and your emotions are some of your greatest intuitive gifts. They're part of being an empath. They are designed to help you with everything in your life and to make the best choices for you from love. It is the highest heart self from within. All right, your heart space is your master creator. Your emotions are a huge, they are that. Your master creator. Your emotions are what fuels. It's almost like the gasoline that makes your car run. Think of your emotions as the gasoline that makes your manifestations happen, right? And it's all within your soul. So when you feel something in your soul, right? When you feel good about something, then you know you're doing the right thing. If you feel good about it, 110%. No ifs, ands, or buts. No doubts. No, I don't feel good. It doesn't feel good. It's confusing. It's not right. It's upsetting. I don't know if I should do it. All of these things are red flags, all right? They're red flags, what I just said here, to not do whatever it is that you're doing, or to relook at the decision to make sure that you're making the right choice, okay? The right choice from love, in its purest form, your highest heart self. Your emotions are the creators so that you do the right thing. And when you're doing stuff out here, they help to guide you. And it's all part of your grand design of your amazing soul, which is your God's love energy space. That is you, okay? Your emotions are here to guide and assist you, okay? okay? It's your empathic gifts, and they are the governing factor. It's kind of like your truth all, your tell all, your truth, tell the truth kind of space. All right, authentic God's honest truth space, okay? Because your emotions are going to guide you for what the best answer is for you. All right, just recently, how this came up is a friend of mine is living with somebody else, and he loves where he's living, but he wanted to rent an apartment. He was thinking about moving out, having his own space, because he kind of longs for his own space, and we all understand these things. You want A and B, and so what happened is he came to me and said, "Oh, well, what should I do with this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, don't do it. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good for you. It's not the right choice right now. It doesn't mean you never should do it, but it just doesn't feel like it's the best choice for you." So that's what I did. I told him, okay. Ultimately, he's all excited and wants this place on the beach, and he can't wait. Da 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 da, and da 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 da, meaning he's stoked. He's like all super excited about it. He really wants it. But yet there's something inside of him that's making him restless, making him not feel good, not sure if he should do it, is worried about the finances. All of these things are red flags. Clear out your stuff. Tells you that you need to clear out your stuff. It is not the time. It is not the best choice for you for now. That you have work to do on you and or with all of this. Okay, so it tells you the truth. Your emotions and your highest heart self. If you're confused about it or you don't know if you should make that decision, that's all part of that emotional space inside of your highest heart self that tells you, red flag, hello, don't do this. This isn't what's best for you. Remember that. Any kind of confusion, not sure, doesn't feel good, you just don't know. You can't make a choice. You feel like about something. Any of these things that come in, and it's not necessarily like some people say, well, what about when your friends talk to you and they try to tell you what to do? No. This isn't about your friends. This is about how you feel in here. All right? Don't let your friends, the people you know and love, tell you what to do. Your highest heart self is the deciding factor, and always should be, for everything you do out here in Earth World, okay? In Earth World, okay? Everything. Because it runs the show. Your highest heart self, your soul, in its purest form of love, which is where your emotional space is. It tells you the truth about everything, guides you to the truth about everything, the healing, the creating, everything is governed and is huge, all right, in this emotional space, because emotions are the fuel that sets things on fire, that makes them happen in earth world reality. And they are also your guidance from love in its purest form to tell you what is the right thing for you to do or not. So this is about saying, hey, is this the right choice for me? So if you should move somewhere. So clearly I got for the gentleman who is my friend, and I love him dearly. And I said, hey man, they're telling me, feels like a no. You don't move. You don't go into that space. It is not the time right now. In time, it will be, and you will know by how it feels, okay? Right now, that's what I'm getting. And he wrestled and turned and tossed with it and was cranky and irritable and a whole bunch of shit, okay? Because it's his soul saying, yeah, man, you don't do it. If you don't feel good about it 110%, you need to bring it back to source, and you need to pay attention how you feel. You don't just run and do something because you want to run and do something, all right? Because that's reckless behavior, and that's going to be non-beneficial to you anytime you don't see, okay, you don't see and feel and listen to your emotions. It's one thing if you run and do something, and I could say that, like I just talked about, that could be reckless behavior if you just run and do something. But I'm talking about if you run and do something and you don't listen to your highest heart self, your soul, your emotions, how you feel about it. Because many times when you run and do something, you're being governed by your moon sign. If you go ahead and do it and you feel like it's the right thing to do and you have no doubts about it and you just go and do it, that's your highest heart self. That's your part, your what you call your moon sign, which governs your innate knowing of what to do and actually doing it, and not necessarily on a conscious level, but it's your soul running the show and doing the right thing for you. Okay, that's all part of your intuitive gifts as well as all of this that we're talking about today. Okay, and there's so much more here, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to stick to these things so you understand why you're doing what you're doing, and understand you better, because the more you understand you and the God's honest truth about you, how your soul works, how things work metaphysically with you, okay, and the better you are going to be able to navigate and live your greatest life here in Earth world. All right, and that's really the God's honest truth of it. And if you practice what Spirit teaches through me, and you will totally understand, get it, and live your greatest life. It can't not happen. Okay, all right, and so based on what I'm saying, being in this space with love energy, listen to your emotions. Again, they are the governing major, it's like major arcana on a tarot deck. I mean, huge. You got to listen to that. It is the king. It is the emperor. It is all the highest cards, all right? Because it's your highest heart self telling you what is going on, okay? And what you should do. If you meet somebody and you're like, yeah, I really like them, and I want to be their friend, and there's no red flags, right? And you feel really good, and so you go and you be their friend, right? But if you meet somebody and their energy feels like shit to you and they feel toxic, you're gonna think twice, right? I would hope, right? About starting a relationship on a continuous basis with them. But the very first thing you're gonna go and do is bring it right to source. Again, your highest heart self, how you feel about it tells you the truth. You stay away from people who are toxic and don't feel good to you, but you're also going to take it to source so you can clear, heal, and change anything in you that has drawn that into you, that created that to happen and this experience to happen. So next time you'll know right to do, and your emotions will be in alignment with that, and you won't feel toxic about that new friend, because you're not even going to call in a friend who is toxic to you, because you will have done the spiritual work in your soul, and you'll feel really excellent and great about you. Okay, all right, so those are some ways that your soul works to help you understand when you're confused about something, you don't do it. You know what I mean? And if you don't know how to deal with it, you ask God that you do. You ask love energy that you know. You ask love energy what to do. You clear out your blocks and why this is happening and everything to do with that, and you bring it to source excuse me, for your greatest excuse me, answers, for the God's honest truth, so you can navigate, like I said, earth world reality and live your greatest life. So if you don't know if you should get a dog and you don't feel good about it, then you don't get a dog. It may not mean that a dog is never what's best for you. It may mean that now is not the best time for you to get a dog, because maybe ultimately a yard would be best because you don't have the time to walk him. So Spirit knows so many things that you don't even know as the reasons why. So when you must listen to your emotions of your highest heart self, right? Because they tell you the truth of what is best for you infinitely with Source. Source knows everything. God, love energy knows everything. So it knows what is exactly the best for you always. And it comes from in here, not your friends. Sometimes the messages will come from your friends and other people and other things out here, but you will get many messages of the same thing, and you will know by how it all feels from your heart. And you don't let your friends decide for you or anyone else decide for you. You decide what is best for you, not your mother, not somebody else. You do with your highest heart self, your most powerful love energy space in your soul. All right, working with God, love energy, because that's what it is. That's what you are. Okay. All right. All that said, let me give you a couple more examples so you really get it. Here's another example. Years back, I had a boyfriend, right? And I loved this guy, right? But there was something about him, and he kept wanting me to marry him and wanting me to marry him and wanting me to marry him. And I was like, I love the guy, but I'm just not feeling it. There's something that's not right. And I just couldn't put my finger on it. But I was listening to my heart. My heart's going, yeah, that's not right. Same thing like with the World Trade Center. My brother, all right, was going to the World Trade Center on the day that the building fell down and the collapse and the whole World Trade Center. What day was that? 9/11, right? He every day he would go to work there. And then on that particular morning, he decided that, he didn't work in the building, but he would take the PATH train into the city, and he would come in the World Trade Center. And that particular morning of all that chaos, which was 9/11, he said, it was such a beautiful day. I just didn't feel like taking the train. So I rode the train to the PATH when I got to Hoboken Station, right? He said he didn't take the PATH, he took the ferry that day. Do you think that's an accident? Not a chance. He said, I just didn't feel it. How fucking amazing is that? His soul saved him, really, from 9/11 and the tragedy that was that. Do you see? So it's so super important that we listen to our emotional connection, because even when we think, well, what the fuck could happen? And we know best. And it's nothing bad ever happened to me before when I thought I was supposed to do this, or I, did this, or you listen to your soul, because it's telling you the truth. Just like with that guy I dated, and I loved him, and he was so many great things, right? That partner that I dated years ago, to finish that story up, right? He was so many great things, but the truth is about him that I had that feeling, and I couldn't put my finger on it, and I wasn't sure, and I mulled it over for a while, because he kept bugging the shit out of me. We dated for like three and a half years, and he's like, he wanted to marry me, wanted me to marry him constantly. Or not constantly, but a lot. He kept asking me over and over, and I was just kind of like, I still had that feeling. I never said nothing to him about it, because I didn't feel like I needed to, but I just felt that deep inside of my soul. This is what I'm talking about, those feelings that govern you, okay? All right, that are in your best interest. You just know, right? Okay, so that said, I had that feeling, and then one day, he lost his temper with me and literally physically came after me. And in that moment, right, he grabbed my neck and went to punch me in my face, and I went, oh, fuck. I was like, in that moment, I knew exactly what my soul was telling me. And the one thing that I couldn't put my finger on, right, happened to be this that was within him, and that's why I wouldn't marry him. So your soul tells you the truth about everything. People, decisions, jobs, moving, everything in your life. It is the answer within from your soul. And your emotions are your major arcana of what really truly tells you the God's honest truth about what is best for you. Okay? All right. So all of this said, people, remember to let your highest heart self govern the show. You don't know what to do, bring it to source. You will always know. You always get double back up, double, triple. Remember, 3 is the charm. 3 is the charm. All right. So if you're not sure about something and you get the answer for something 3 times, you feel it in your heart, it doesn't feel good 3 times, you ask 3 times, then you don't do it. And if you want a word answer, you ask God for a word answer. Should I do this or not? Yes, no. Your guides, your angels, you'll hear, you'll see, you'll know, you'll feel what the truth is and what you should do. So remember that anytime you can't make a decision, tough times, follow your heart. Feel those emotions. Think about it. Love is your strongest, most powerful emotion. It governs everything that you create. When it doesn't feel good, it's not in that space of you, and it's not in the best interest for you. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I'm sorry for what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, I haven't been doing as many YouTubes, but we're working on so many amazing things and such awesome spiritual growth to change the world, and I'm super excited. But we're going to be getting back more into YouTubes, and my goal is to do a whole bunch, hopefully maybe 3 to 5 a week in the future. Right now, we might be just doing 1 or 2 for the next few weeks, but I'm going to ask Spirit that I change that now and make sure that I do at least 3 a week or more. And thank you, God, for that for me, and the balance, all the gifts and tools that I need to do that from the highest form of love. And thank you, God, for that for me. All right, good night, everybody. Have the best night. Thanks.